All right, this week we're coming from Ephesians chapter 2, verses 14 through 17. And what I really want to look at is this concept of peace. It says in verse 14, "For he is our peace, who made both groups one and tore down the dividing wall of hostility in his flesh. He made of no effect the law consisting of commands and expressed in regulations, so that he might create in himself one new man from the two, resulting in peace." See, he's really hammering in this idea of peace. He did this so that he might reconcile us, he says in verse 16. Again, peace, reconciling, bringing us together, both to God in one body through the cross, by which he put the hostility to death. Hostility obviously is something completely different that we're going to look at tomorrow or in the coming Devos. But when we look at this idea, it's saying he crushed the hostility. Again, it's an allusion to peace. He came and proclaimed the good news of peace to you who are far away, and peace to those who are near. You can just see this resonating theme of peace. This idea that God had this massive intention of coming into our life and destroying the anxiety, destroying the brokenness, destroying that which was destroying us. Makes me want to also read this next passage to you from Romans chapter 5, verses 6 through 11. "For while we were still helpless, at the right time, Christ died for the ungodly. For rarely will someone die for a just person, though for a good person, perhaps. Someone might even dare to die, but God proves his own love for us in that while we were still sinners." What's that saying? While we were still hostile, while we were still arrogant, while we were still prideful, while we were still demanding our own way, it says, but God proves his own love for us that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. He gave us peace. In verse 9 of Romans chapter 5, it says, "How much more then, since we have now been justified by his blood, will we be saved through him from wrath?" Again, he's extending to us peace. He's offering for us to be saved from wrath. "For if, while we were enemies," meaning hostile, "we were reconciled to God through the death of his Son, then how much more, having been reconciled," meaning having peace, "will we be saved by his life? And not only that, but we also boast in God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have now received his reconciliation." Peace. I don't know where you are today, and I don't know what's going on in your heart, but I know for sure that Christ came to make a way for you to have peace. If you've got anxiety swirling about in your mind, if you've got chaos around every corner of your life, I want you to know that Christ is extending his hand to you. We've just celebrated Easter. And what I would encourage you to do is see what Christ did. See that he endured wrath, and see that he overcame it. And he can do the same in your life. Won't you let him?